Hi, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Marie Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Molai Hanoputi. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Marie Clinic Live. I would like to say thank you to all our new subscribers, our new joiners. Thank you to all our returning subscribers and our returning followers as well. We do celebrate you. Thank you for your time, for your contribution. If you are here to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please kindly do so. Hit on the subscribe button, Mario Clinic TV. Thank you so much for always joining us. Today, we'll be looking at an interesting topic that says why you cannot remain the same in marriage. Why you cannot remain the same in marriage. So, this is going to be speaking to our maturity. Trait or our maturity level in marriage. Now, I want you to know that if there is any institution that is going to test your maturity the most, it is the institution of marriage. Marriage would test, your level of maturity. It is in marriage that your maturity will be tested. You know why? Because you are coming from a different background from the person you are getting married to. I mean, with a different upbringing, and both of you are coming together to face life together. I tell you, there are times you will have different views about life, different views about issues. Now, your maturity is what will help you establish a framework of peace in your home. I mean, there are times that some couples will complain about, oh, he's not just listening to me, oh, she doesn't listen to me, oh, she wants to have her way, she's too adamant, she's too stubborn, she's this, she's that. When you hear those kind of complaints at times, it tells us that it's either they are here to understand each other, or they are both not playing maturity in that institution of marriage. Now, I want you to know that if you get married, you are not expected to remain the same or stay the same you are in character, in behavior, and in maturity. You are not expected to remain the same way you were when you got married, when you enter into the marriage. No, you can't be the same. You know why? Because it is expected that you are you are expected to evolve, to adapt. You are expected to make some changes here and there, adjust here, adjust there. Why? Because that is what marriage entails. You will keep making adjustment upon adjustment, here and there, until both of you get to understand each other and you can both work together in an amicable manner. So I want you to know that marriage will expose your areas of strength and weaknesses. It will definitely expose your areas of strength and weakness. So, for example, if you are the lazy type, marriage will it will help you amplify it, because now you are no longer responsible for yourself. You are now responsible for maybe another person, and even the little ones when the children start to come. So it will show if you have the lazy type, and if you are the hardworking type. Naturally, when you get married, it will also show that this person is hardworking. Now, if you also have some bad habits that you are you've been exhibiting, or some form of addiction that is known with you while you were still single. Now, when you get married, these things too will become obvious. They will become obvious to your partner. Your partner will start to see or notice those bad habits, and I tell you, when they start seeing those things, they are not going to be comfortable with it. They are not going to keep quiet about it. Some will react to the fact that, no, I never knew he used to drink. I never knew she used to she used to be maybe rude, or she's this or that. They would definitely react to those negative part of you. Now, the good news is that if you are open minded, if you are teachable, I tell you, you stand a very high chance of changing your ways, when you are teachable or when you are open-minded. Now, you don't go in there saying, oh, this is how I am, I'm fixing my ways. Oh, is either she takes it or leave it, this is how I am, I can't change. Or, oh, this is, well, this drinking habit has been with me, since I was young, or since I've been with my parents, so it's not you that I got married to that will take it from me. Oh, this womanizing part of me has always been there, so it's not married that will make me leave it. What? That shows that you are not even ready for marriage at all, because I tell you, marriage will compel you to make serious changes, serious amendments, serious adjustments in your life, in your character, in your behavior. Those addictions can drop off you. You can shed off those bad habits gradually in marriage if you give your spouse the opportunity to pinpoint those areas of weaknesses, those bad habits to you, because they tend to see you often. They know what areas you need to improve on, and they will usually tell you to say, my dear, I don't like this thing you are doing, I don't like that thing you are doing. Now, when they lodge those complaints, it is not for you to start quarreling with them about it, or just start saying, but your own is too much, you complaining. No, they are only trying to point out those areas so that you can amend, so that you can adjust your ways, you can make little amendment. And I tell you, as you make those little adjustments here and there on a daily basis, before you know it, you realize that you are growing in maturity. The things that will usually get you angry when they talk to you about it, those things will no longer make you hungry. So, like I said, you stand a high chance of being corrected, of being mended, or being fixed. Like some people will say in marriage, if you are open minded and if you are teachable, if you are not the type that is fixed in your ways, that you don't want to take corrections, or you don't like feedback, then such people will struggle a bit in marriage. Now, another thing marriage will do for you is that it will help you prune down on your excesses. Now, if you are the type that you have excesses, so for example, they do things for you, you don't even know how to say thank you, they help you with chores, you don't know how to show gratitude, or some other things. I tell you, see, in marriage, when he or she does something for you and you cannot even say, thank you, my dear, I appreciate what you are doing. I tell you, they will get discouraged, and before you know it, they will start thinking that, is it that this person doesn't even love me, or is it that this person is just using me? Those negative thoughts will start flowing through their minds. But when you have those excesses and they are pointing it out to you that, you can't even say thank you, oh, you can't even do this, oh, you can't even help me with this. See, it's because they want you to prune down on your excesses and make you realize that, hey, it's no longer you alone on this journey. We are now two, or we are now five, especially when children comes in. Then the decision, your life decision cannot be yours alone, because you now have to factor in your spouse, your children. You now have to ask yourself, this decision I'm about to make, will it be of any good to my spouse and to my children? Will it be for the good of the family? Now, you now have to become considerate. If you are the type that before you got married, you weren't a considerate person, it's just about me, myself, and I, you're just concerned about yourself. I tell you, when you get into marriage, you see, you cannot remain the same. You cannot go in with that habit of, or that attitude, oh, it has to be me, myself, my and I. No, because marriage will have a way of making you refocus. It will refocus your mindset, your attitude, because you will no longer be thinking of just me, self. You will now start thinking about, okay, my spouse, okay, my children. So how does my action affect them? How does my action bring them dignity or bring them shame? Was yesterday or 2 days ago, someone sent in a post about her husband um drinking, being into drinking, and that she's so ashamed about his drinking lifestyle, such that when he comes home in a mess. And she says she's so ashamed about that lifestyle that she's afraid that his our two sons will not pick up those habits from their father of drinking. Now, she's easily saying, see, I don't want to, I don't want him to continue in that pattern or in that lifestyle. I need him to change. I need him to cut down on those excesses, on those things that will not add value or dignity to us as a family or as a spouse. I need him to get rid of that bad habit because it brings shame to us. It brings shame to our family, to our home. It brings shame even to my kids and to myself as a spouse. And that is why she's opening up and she's complaining about it, because she wants him to cut down on those excesses. So even you as a wife, maybe you have a husband that is telling you, ah, my dear, you are now a wife. You can't be dressing like this, exposing your body, and you're like, ah, no, that is how I've been dressing since I was CC. No, you can't be saying that, because see, he is the one that God has planted in your life to make you see the areas, that you need to work on, you need to improve on. So if he says, oh my dear, you can't wear this out, you need to go dress properly. If you have to go out with me, it's not the time to argue with him. It's the time for you to go in there and dress properly and be well covered. It's not the time to say, oh, bow Hashem dressing here, that is how we dress, that's how I've always dressed as CC. Oh, that's how I talk. That no, you need to start learning how to do things in a better way. You have to evolve. You have to evolve. You have to mature, because perhaps when you got married, you were still very much younger. But now in the marriage, as you are growing, even with age, it is expected that you mature. It is expected that the things that freak you when you were still single, when you were still living alone, those things should no longer freak you as a married man. Now, another thing marriage will make you become is that it will make you responsible. So perhaps if you have been the type that you've been living an irresponsible life, you don't even know what it takes to pay rent, or you don't know what it takes to be responsible for another person, or to give to another person, or to make sacrifices for the home and family. I tell you, marriage will teach you how to do that. It will compel you to start fending for another person. It will compel you to start fending for your spouse and your children. It will make you become responsible, even if your innate nature is to be irresponsible, or even if your home training did not imbibe in you that act of responsibility. Marriage is a place where the activities there, the circumstances and the situation that will compel you to become responsible, because by the time you see your children sitting at home because they can't afford to pay school fees, or you see maybe your spouse sit at home because they don't have transport fare to go to their place of work or their business place. So something will tell you that, come on man, come on woman, you need to rise up and do something. You need to work, you need to earn. And see, at times when we talk about this, you need to work, you need to earn, you need to bring in income, it's not because we just like to work and work and work. It's because we know that, see, finances is a very crucial part or aspect of marriage. We need it to run the home. It's like a vehicle that helps the home to run. Without it, you can't achieve more. And without this, frustration or quarrel or frequent fight will set in when there is no money to run the home. And that is why we always advise, try and do something. Marriage is not a place where you can afford to be idle. If you have been idle before you got married, you are used to being idle, roaming the streets, sweeping the streets. You can't sit down in one place to put your head to use to say, oh, what can I even do with my time, with my talent, with the ideas that are flowing through my mind, and you implement it and convert it into something, into maybe a product or a services that can be bringing you money. If you cannot do that, see, when you go into marriage, you will go in there and become a liability. And that is why I titled this, why you cannot remain the same in marriage. You can't afford to be the same person that went into. You can't say, oh, this is the way I've always been and I will continue to be like that. No, not in marriage. Marriage will not, it will not give room for those mediocrity. And that is why At times when I see people saying, "Oh, okay, so someone is lazy or idle, they sit back at home, they don't want to do anything." People are saying, "Oh, pray for him, pray for him, pray for him." No, it's not prayer that will get him to rise up and go and work. When hunger, just don't. It's not prayer. Just don't give him or her food for the next 10 days. See, nobody will teach him or nobody will teach her that. Hey, Mr. Man, hunger will teach you life lessons. For some people, it's not prayer that will change them, it's the hard knocks of life that will change them. I mean, when life um had not hit them so hard, nobody would tell them. They would deliver themselves by themselves. Nobody would tell them to say, "Hey, rise up. This is the time for me to rise up." Like the prodigal son, scripture says that when he came to himself, he told himself by himself, when suffering has eaten blue, black, and center, he told himself, why am I just suffering myself like this? Why can't I just go back to my father? Even if it's the crumbs from his table, let me be eating from there. At least I'll be better off than what I'm experiencing now. So for some people, it's suffering and life koboko, that will make them have sense and begin to amend their ways. But you don't have to wait for life to beat you blue, black, and red before you adjust or amend your way. That spouse is being put there by God to open your eyes to see the areas that you need to improve upon. So don't look down on that spouse, don't look down on that woman. Don't say, you this small girl that I marry, you don't know anything. No, that small girl is the person God has put in your way or in your life, to open your eyes to see the areas of changes you need to make. So don't look down on her. Don't say, this man that I marry is my age mate. What does he know? I have sense more than him. No, that man is in your life for a reason. And God has put him on your path to make you a better person. So marriage will see it will change you, it will make you evolve. If you are serious with your life, you need to pay attention to what your spouse is telling you. You need to pay attention to those their complaints, to those things they are asking you to change in your lifestyle, because see, those are the things that will make you better. Before you know it, you will discover that your character would have improved, your in maturity you would have improved. It will make you even exposed to life. It will help you become more dependable, more responsible. It will help you become accountable. Maybe in those days you used to go out of the house without telling anybody where you are going to. When you get married, you cannot be behaving like that, because see, people have to know where you are going to. So it will help you become accountable. So you have to tell someone in the house, hey, this is where I'm going. They need to know where you are going. So these are the things marriage will do for you. See, if you now insist and say, no, I will not change. It is the way I was when I got married that I will continue to be, till in this marriage, it is my old ways that I want to do. I tell you, you will just make that marriage to eat the rock, because nobody will see. People can endure to a certain extent. When they see that your own is too much, they will just say, see, I will leave you to your woes and to your follies. That's the truth. No one has the time to be pampering an adult or to be saying, no, gone are those days. So please, let's sit up, let's know what we are into. Marriage is not a play place. It's not a place you go to and be playing or be gambling or be tossing with people's life, be playing with their emotion. No. Please, we are not giving to that, because these are people's life that we are talking about. This is someone's heart that we are talking about. So you can't afford to go in there and be messing up with people's life, people's heart, gambling with their emotions, with their heart. No. So if you know you are not serious with life, please don't bother going into marriage. And see, you cannot go into marriage and remain the same. You have to learn how to change, make adjustments, amendment. See, here and there, you have to change a little bit here, a little bit there. You keep changing by the day, and you pay attention to details. And please, let's be teachable, let's be open-minded. Don't say, his own is too much, our own is too much. No, it's for your own good. They are telling you to change. Is it's for your own good so that you can become a better person. And don't forget, you have children to model. They are watching you. So if you continue in your bad way, in your bad habit, those children have the tendency of picking those bad habits from you. So you don't want to continue in your old ways. It's good for a man's way to get better and better by the day, and it's good for a woman's way to get better and better by the day. So you cannot continue in your old way. I would like to stop here now because I think I've said a lot. I hope we have learned something today. We hope to bring you um, more interesting and educative programs. Subsequently, we'll also resume back inviting our guest speakers soon. I pray that works out soon so that we can continue to learn a lot. I hope you have learned something today. Please share this video, give us a like, give us a comment, let's know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as we expect you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Marie Clinic TV. Till we meet again, I remain your host, Marlai, and over to you, and I say bye bye.